Kyle Shanahan, he's always a challenge to game plan for him to play the chess game. But what is he like 4 months to prepare a game plan? When the schedule comes out, you know who week one is. How big a challenge is Kyle with 4 months to prepare?
I got my thoughts on that one too.
Chances on?
Not that I'm aware of, no. Been in meetings all morning. No, I don't think he's here.
So is he ruled out for Monday?
Not ruling him out yet.
How feasible is that, though? Like, if he were to show up at some point,
It's feasible. I mean, the opponent we're playing now just had 2 guys show up to practice, so you trust that your veterans who know how to do things the right way will get themselves ready to play.
Do you go into this season with specific goals yourself?
Like,
what would be the goals for this football team?
Well, I've mentioned it. Like, whether you say goals or expectations, it's just to show up and control the controllables and be where your feet are and dominate your moments. And we trust that if we do that, everything will take care of itself.
But I mean, do you have any numbers, or do you have a divisional thing, or anything like that?
No. I can get into a long philosophical explanation on that one, but putting goals on results, we know what we want, but that's not the end result. Isn't always something that you've got control over, But what you do have control over is where you are and how you approach things, and so our daily goal is to focus on that.
Robert, do you think there'll be a little bit of an exhale when you guys get to the 5th offensive play?
Probably. We're fine. I'm not even, if lightning, never mind.
What are your expectations for Aaron this year?
Same thing. I really don't have expectations. I just I think he's not just mentally but physically. He looks awesome. You guys have been there every day, and you see how good he looks. I think he's been prepared. He's prepared himself, and if he continues to stay focused on that, which he will. He's a professional. He's done it a long time. He's not a 40-year-old quarterback, so I think he's going to be just fine.
Just at a personal level, just how much do you want this for Aaron? Just everything to go well, just especially considering everything that you went through just to get back to this point.
For sure. You want it for him. You want it for everybody in the locker room. You want it for the fans. You want it for ownership. It's been a long time coming, and you want the people who would love to watch us on game day. So, but yeah, it's every player in the locker room has a why when they enter a season, and so you want it for all of them.
Do you sense that he has a chip on his shoulder, no longer about being 40, coming off the surgery, and the doubters out there?
That'd probably be more of a question for him. I think he lives with a chip on his shoulder, but he's that'd be more for him.
Do you remember the last time you played in San Francisco against you in 2021? Do you remember that game?
The COVID game?
Yeah.
That game didn't count. I remember the championship game though.
You say, we see it, but what has he done for this?
The guys in the locker room love him. They look up to him. They seek advice from him. I noticed it the other day and shot him a text. I think it's fascinating the way he interacts with the D-line. So and just the way he interacts with everybody. So he's the ultimate teammate, and so I think just his leadership and has been invaluable to the organization.
Robert, you said the question about the chip, we should ask Aaron that, but how ready are you to sort of get onto the field in a game that matters, where people can see the quarterback that you see behind the scenes, and also see this team that you've been coaching all offseason?
I'll speak for everyone in the organization. I think we're all ready after the first week of training camp. After a couple of weeks it expires. So I think I'll speak for everyone that we're all looking forward to it.
How much are you looking forward to going back to San Francisco, or are you trying to approach this as just another game?
No, it'll be fun, but it's just another game. I've been in that stadium before, so.
Robert, now that it is time for football, what do you feel like you have to prove personally?
I don't know. You know, it just. I don't know. I'll chew on that one.
There's no chip?
For me? No. No.
Have you been going over the receipts?
One day. One day.
Defensive line right now, and Tyron in particular?
You know, I think they've looked good all camp. You know, we've gone against some really good D lines, and with Carolina's D line, Washington's got a really good interior. The Giants have a really good front four, really good front four, and I felt like our O-line did a really nice job against all three of them, and you know, they've been getting a lot of work together, a lot of work with the added reps that we've had throughout camp. But you know, it's I'm excited about. I am excited about them. Is bullish the right word? I always get confused between the Bulls and the Bears, but either way, it's going to be fun to watch them get even better as the year progresses.
Is the plan for Mike Williams, is that predicated at all on how he feels when the game starts and going throughout a game, or are you saying snap limit, one snap limit? Like, how are you?
Yeah, he could be ready for 60 plays and we're still in this game, but at the same time, we're just going to make sure we're going to be smart with him because our eyes are on the entire season, not just week one.
What are the challenges, Robert, of game playing week one?
It's always a challenge because there's new wrinkles. I'm sure they've got wrinkles. We've got wrinkles. They've got new people they've added to the staff. We've got new people that we've added to the staff that I'll bring, and everybody brings wrinkles. So you're going to get a lot of unscouted looks, and you know, you do your best to try to survive those plays. And from our perspective, offensively, you do your best to try to make sure you hit on those unscouted looks. And but it's week one's always a little bit goofy.
Even though you're not calling plays directly against Shanahan, you know him so well, and vice versa. So how does that? What kind of challenges does that chess game present? You know, I guess you don't want to expect surprises from him, or how do you approach that?
I'm sorry, Rich. I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself on that one.
Well, I saw a quote from Fiddle, and he said he feels like they're going against their defense that they faced in training camp. I mean, your roots there are still there. Do you feel that when you look at their defense, that it's still similar to yours?
You know, from a style of play standpoint, you know, they still get after it. You still see Bosa. I know Hargrave, he wasn't there, but he's adopted it. Obviously, Fred, their back end. There's a lot of new faces, but the style of play, the tenacity, the overall core philosophy of the defense obviously is still there, and they've done a great job. Kyle's done a great job, and D'Amico, and going all the way through. So, you know, obviously there's bear on fire, and they play with a style.
Do you take pride in that, Robert? Because that was your defense, and now it's been carried through. This is the third generation.
I don't know about pride. I do think it is cold. It's a lot of those guys who were just pups when we got there. Bosa was a rookie. Fred was a nickel that we turned into a Mike linebacker, and you know, knock on wood for him, he's been able to stay healthy and he's had great production. Greenlaw, I know he's not playing, I don't think, but he's another guy that grew so much. But they've got so much talent. They've got a very good understanding of the defense, and you know, it's cool because we did it together. You know, and it's like I said, I'm standing here because of those guys, and you know, so very grateful for them.
I know you stay away from expectations, but Aaron has said 8 to 12. He thinks you guys are one of 8 to 12 teams that can play for Super Bowl. He feels even stronger this year. Do you agree with that?
I agree with the fact that I do believe we're capable of anything, but I also recognize that we haven't done anything, and until we do something, it's all hypothetical.
What is your message to the fans about the start of the season, what they can expect from this football team on the field?
You know, they could expect us to play our tails off, I could tell you that much. there's one thing that I feel like we've always done is we've always strapped up and we fought from whistle to whistle from start to finish, and that's not going to change. And that's about all you can. That they should be able to expect that from us week in and week out. Every passing year, you're going to find ways to get better, especially in adversity. Last year was the epitome of adversity, and I think because of it, I think we've all gotten better. Players have gotten better. Our training staff has gotten better. Equipment room's gotten better. I've gotten better. Coaches. Joe D's gotten better. We've all gotten better for it, and I think because of it. Taking those learnings and those experiences and applying them to this season is only going to be beneficial.
Couple more.
Robert, with Kyle Shanahan, he's always a challenge to game plan for him to play the chess game. But what is he like 4 months to prepare a game plan? When the schedule comes out, you know who week one is. How big a challenge is Kyle with 4 months to prepare?
I got my thoughts on that one too. And things that I've talked to Brick about, and but I'll leave it at that.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
One more.
How happy were you to see Michael Carter?
Oh heck yeah, man! He's
Good last one.
like that's credit to him. You know, 5th round draft pick. You don't expect much. It's a day 3 guy, and he's not the first, and he's not going to be the last one. There's a lot of guys who have earned it, and he's one of them. He's been an anchor in that back end, elite communicator, elite problem solver, elite player, man, zone, run defender. He does it all, and you know, to be able to reward our own is awesome. And like I said, he's not the last one. There's a whole train of guys that are getting ready to get broke off, if you will. All right, thanks guys.